Hello everyone, welcome back to another excellent edition of the Classic Video Game Channel, and yes, with me today is none other than Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD. Now, ever since I first caught wind of this game a few months ago, I've been highly anticipating it. I know I and many of the other die-hard Tony Hawk fans are hoping this is the proper remake of our favorite levels from the first two games that we hold so cherished to our nostalgia-filled hearts. The question is though, does it succeed? Well, let's jump right in and find out. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD features the three classic modes of gameplay from yesteryear. Single session for racking up high scores, free skate for exploring the levels, and career mode where you have 2 minutes to complete as many objectives as possible so you can earn money to advance in the game. These modes have been kept largely intact from the two original games, and each level still possesses the same unique goals it did in those earlier titles. However, each level has also been given at least one new goal to mix things up a bit. However, it really falls short of making the objectives feel new and fresh, which is what I assume the developers had in mind. Now, to play through the revamped levels, you have your choice of skater. Sadly, your choices are pretty slim compared to previous Tony Hawk titles, and the amount of skaters is really disappointing. The levels do make up for this though, as all the classics return in full-on HD glory. For those who still don't know what stages have been included in this game, they are as follows: the Warehouse, School 2, the Hangar, the Mall, Venice, Downhill Jam, and Marseilles. Each of the levels' architecture is the exact same as it was in the original two games, so skating through these stages feels just the same as it did 12 years ago. The only difference is that now the environments have much larger draw distances, the textures have a ton more detail, and overall the levels just look absolutely gorgeous. However, just because this game is beautiful doesn't mean it's a masterpiece. As I've already mentioned, the variety of skaters is really lacking. Sadly, there's a slew of other problems with the game as well. Most notably is the physics engine. For some reason it just doesn't feel right, and that's only when it works, because it's also insanely glitchy. Maybe never enough to ruin your experience with this game, but definitely enough to want to throw your controller and shout obscenities at your TV. Another issue with this game is the bail system. I don't know what the developers were thinking here. What was wrong with falling, spewing blood everywhere, and then getting back up? Exactly, nothing! Yet RoboMo felt the need to overhaul this aspect of the game completely. Every time you fall, the screen turns white and you find yourself at the point in the level where you were at right before you bailed. This sounds good in theory, yet when it comes down to it, it's totally broken. Sometimes you're placed somewhere where you have no choice but to bail again and be put in the exact same spot. Take this for example. I was skating through the mall when I jumped and bailed. The game placed me back to my point of trajectory where I proceeded to jump again, yet because of the big drop, I automatically bailed. This kept occurring over and over again, so finally I just ended my run. The collision detection in this game is also terrible. I often find myself going through part of the floor or seeing past the walls. For a game that is supposedly leaps and bounds ahead of the PlayStation game it's trying to perfect, I actually think the earlier version is far less glitchy. However, that's not to say that the game doesn't have a few things going in its favor. I found that the majority of new songs on the soundtrack gelled really well with the older tunes. The multiplayer modes in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD are also mildly fun. You've got your standard trick attack and graffiti, plus a new mode called Big Head Survival. In it, your skater's head is constantly inflating, and to suppress it, you must land some nice big combos. Fail too many times and well, your head explodes. There's also Hawkman mode, where you collect pellets throughout the stage. There are 4 types of pellets. Red ones collected in the air, blue ones collected with a wall ride, green ones are collected while manualing, and yellow ones are collected with a grind. This mode, like the other new one, is mildly amusing, but the novelty will wear off quickly. And that statement right there pretty much sums up this whole game. All in all, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD is a rather average title. Do I feel like it's worth $15? No. Am I going to spend countless hours playing it like I did the first game? No. But do I feel like it's a solid game with gorgeous graphics that presents the series I grew up with to a whole new generation of gamers? Definitely. And although the physics may not be perfect and the gameplay might be a bit glitchy, it's still a very fun game. However, I only recommend the hardcore Tony Hawk fans go out and plunk down the dough for this one. Now if you excuse me, I got some Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 to play on the good old Sega Dreamcast. Oh, and like always, that's it for this edition of Classic Video Game Channel. I'll see you guys next time.